Peace Queen. It's Melissa Crawford of thequeencode.com. And today's video is part 12 and the last part in the 12-part Character of a Queen series. So we've taken this journey together. And I really wanted to share this character series with you to give you a behind the throne look at what it really means to be a queen on your throne, to be a woman firmly established in your feminine power. You know, it's not necessarily this exterior thing. It's an inner journey. It's a journey that flows from the inside out. And working on character becomes very important because it's the character that sustains us. It's the character that establishes us as we sit proudly on our throne. So taking that inner journey of elevating your awareness, of elevating your consciousness, of letting go of things that do not serve you, of really working on that inner. It's when we do that we begin to emanate the queen that we are. We begin to emanate the queen that we're called to be. So the queen is a state of awareness, a state of consciousness. It's an inner thing. So if you haven't seen the last 11 videos, no worries. You can watch this video first. And you can always go back and catch up with the other ones later, but you do want to go back and watch those videos because all of those character traits are very important. And it's very essential to stepping into your feminine power. So here's part 12 and the final part. Again, it's the last part. So a queen on her throne is a woman who believes in divine connections, and she settles for nothing less. Divine connections. That's very important because as you're on your throne, finding your throne, wherever you are, even when you find your throne, the journey still continues, and it's very important that you're supported on this path. On this royal path, you can't walk it alone. Even though you're having a very personal transformational experience, this experience of greater awareness of who you really are, this experience of stepping fully into the power within you, it is universal. That's the reason why, you know, I can sit here and speak the Queen Code message and it really resonates with so many women and men all around the world, because this journey of self-discovery is universal. So we cannot walk it alone. And not only can we not walk it alone, but you really want to have those connections, those friendships and bonds and relationships with people that are truly divine. It's not good enough to just hang out with people just to do it. It's really about doing that inner work and allowing yourself to be attracted to those divine connections. And in order to do that, you have to remain open. You know, as you build your queendom, there are going to be all types of connections that you have of people in your court, you know, business connections and romantic relationships and things like that. But there are some relationships, and the ones that I want to talk to you about today, that are very important divine connections that you need to have as a queen on your throne. The first one is a mentor. Every queen on her throne has a mentor. You cannot get around it. Someone asked Oprah one time if she had a mentor, and Oprah said, no, I have 4. You absolutely have to have that mentorship as a queen on your throne. You absolutely need to be in the presence of someone that can see your greatness, see where you are, and because they're a bit further along the path, they can actually pull you out of where you are to a new place. They can help you elevate. You know, as women, traditionally, sometimes we try to do things by ourselves, or we try to work it out by ourselves, and sometimes we have trouble asking for the help that we need, but that's really holding us back. You know, you can't be a one-woman show, not being a queen on your throne. Think of it like the queen bee. The queen bee, she's very well supported. Being a queen on your throne, you cannot be a one-woman show. You have to get the support and the help that you need. So we have to ask more for help. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. And a mentor, having a mentor, is a very good way to really start getting that help that you need. But another type of divine connection that I think is really important, especially right now for women, is having that, what I call the golden circle of soul sisters. The golden circle of soul sisters. Now, what do I mean by a soul sister? I'm talking about a woman who, you know how you go out and you might meet someone and maybe they're nice and you chat for a little while with them, and then you kind of go off on your way, and it's just kind of like, oh, she was a nice person, like, so. A soul sister is different. It truly is a divine connection, because it's somebody that you meet at a time when you probably were supposed to be doing something else, and for whatever reason you ended up in that place at that time, and you meet that person and you realize that you have so much in common. Some of the same people, you've had some of the same exact experiences. It's like your lives have been running parallel for years, but you just met this person on the path. A soul sister is someone where you don't have to talk a lot about how you feel or what you're going through, because after just a few words, she gets it. She understands exactly where you are. A soul sister is someone that you're connected with on a soul level. And as women, as we're awakening to who we are on bigger and bigger levels, it's so important to have that golden circle of soul sisters to really uplift us, to really hold that bigger space for us, so we can truly step in to the women that we're called to be. And traditionally, I don't know how it is for you, but I know for me and what I've experienced, and for what a lot of women around me have experienced, traditionally as women, we're not very supportive of each other, and not as supportive as we should be or could be. Traditionally, I experienced a lot of, anytime, I would have a circle of friends that were women, a lot of backbiting, jealousy, intimidation, just a lot of cattiness and chaos and drama. But as I really began to find myself and who I was, I began to attract a different type of woman in my life as friend. And it was at first kind of hard for me to open up, because I'm like, I don't know what she's really about, if she's really for me, or if she's really, and there was a part of me that was very closed off. But what I realized was that I could not travel this journey and really succeed and be in my power until I understood the power of having that friendship and that bond with other women. It might seem like a very simple thing, but that bond that we can really connect and share as women is very important right now, for not only healing you, healing me, but also healing our families, healing our communities, healing this world. There's something very powerful that happens when women connect on a soul level. There's something very powerful that happens when women connect and we're able to nurture and be nurtured by each other. And again, that's been basically an element that we've lost, that it's time to regain. A queen on her throne has her golden circle of soul sisters. So it's really about opening up and embracing each other more. It's really about being non-negotiable and settling for lukewarm connections, but only wanting divine connections. So what happens is, as you begin to work on yourself and you're really working on your character and the inner, and you begin to shine your light, all of a sudden, through the laws of attraction, you begin to meet these women that it's just like the connections are amazing. One of my soul sisters, I called her 2 days ago. And when I called her, she was actually thinking about calling me, but we started talking, and she asked me if I'd ever read this book, this certain book, totally off topic, right? And the book that she was recommending was the book that I had in my hand. And it was the book that I was told in spirit that I needed to go back to and read. Like, what are the odds? That's the kind of connection that I'm talking about. You know, I actually, I was in Walmart the other day. Wasn't supposed to be in Walmart when I was, but I was there. And I turned the corner. And as I turn the corner, I see this beautiful woman in this beautiful lime green dress. And so I couldn't wait to get close enough to her to compliment her on her dress. And so I walk up to her and I said, "Oh, that dress is so beautiful. You look so gorgeous." And she turned around and she complimented me. She said, "I love your hair." And so we just started talking right there in the middle of the aisle. And come to find out, she knew some of the same people that I knew. Her brother lived in my same subdivision. She was involved in some of the same things I was involved in. We had so much in common. And it was obvious to me at that time that I was talking to and that I had connected with another soul sister. Of course, we exchange numbers and we keep in contact. But here's the interesting thing. If I was very closed off, and if I was being very just kind of miserly, like, "Oh, you know, I see her, I think she's beautiful, but I'm not going to tell her." Or I see her and maybe I'm not going to open up. If I would have been closed off in that way, I would not have gained that beautiful connection. Just in that time, we ended up talking, standing there talking for about 30 to 35 minutes right there, you know, in Walmart. And we couldn't break away because the connection was so strong. And what's very interesting is there was a guy that worked there. He had a shopping cart and he was, you know, just kind of passing us back and forth. And I kind of noticed him. But he eventually stopped us and he said, "I don't mean to interrupt, but I just want to tell you ladies that it is so refreshing to see two women talk about the things that you're talking about, standing here just really embracing each other. You don't see that a lot nowadays. And I just want to compliment that and acknowledge that." And he was just so taken aback by just how comfortable we were with each other and how we connected on such a deep level. So what I'm saying is, in order to really be that woman of power, it's not a path that you can walk alone. It is an individual inner journey. But the truth is that we're more powerful together than we'll ever be apart. And being a woman in your feminine power is about being open and being willing to share with other women, not being intimidated by other women, having that golden circle of soul sisters and wanting to have those kinds of connections and not settling for anything else. If you have not found your soul sisters, if you have not been drawn or attracted to that golden circle, it may be because you have some connections in your life that are just lukewarm. And you have to release those first in order to make room for this brilliance. So it's really about, again, opening up and knowing that we need each other. We cannot do this thing by ourselves. If you've been hurt or burnt from, feminine relationships, then it's really just about doing your own work and letting your light shine. And you're going to see how you're going to attract some wonderful, beautiful, golden relationships that will nurture you, that will allow you to step into your power more. You can hold a space for them to step up. They hold a space for you to step up. You cannot reign on your throne without this, okay? That is my message for you today. In the meantime, I do have a wonderful free gift for you. If you go to my site at www.thequeencode.com, you can get your copy of my free audio, Reign as Queen in 2013. And in that audio, it's going to share a lot more about how you can really begin to divinely align with your feminine power to step into this thing. 2013, it's almost over, but this message is relevant and it's still going to be relevant even in 2014 and beyond. So go and claim that free audio today and really begin to listen and apply those things and watch your life transform. Okay? So just go to www.thequeencode.com and I'll talk to you soon.